Hey guys, it's Angel here. I hope you're feeling blessed. It's been a little while. I have been in solitude with the Lord the last couple of weeks, and the Lord has been sitting me down and really allowing me to process a lot of things. So I haven't been posting much, but I do have something that I want to share with you all. And I'm just wondering if it's anybody else who's going through this right now. I noticed that I know for a fact the Lord is transitioning a lot of people into their next season. And I'm wondering if anybody else is going through a phase where the Lord is bringing up things that you thought you healed from. And all of a sudden, with the Lord bringing them back up and them resurfacing, you're realizing that you haven't really processed those emotions correctly because now you're being triggered by them. Is anybody else going through that right now? For so many years, right, I had to be strong. And I think it's because I became self sufficient at such a young age. I was very independent, and in a lot of ways, I had to be. So it forced me to be in like a masculine energy, right? And when you think of masculine energy, you think of dominant, not really emotion based, just kind of moving and going and being a provider and taking care of self without really tapping into the emotional side. I think I've been in that space for so long that I never really allowed myself to feel my true emotions. I thought that because I wasn't affected by things I've been through, that meant that I healed. Like oftentimes we get memories of our past, right? And sometimes they're traumatic. And you assume that if you don't have an emotional response from that memory, that means you're healed. That's what I thought. I went through something very traumatic maybe 3 years ago. And I thought I processed all of that. But I think it was just me being in like survival mode where I just kept it pushing. I never really dealt with the emotions. I just kept it pushing, and I put on my strong suit and my armor, and I didn't allow it to really penetrate me. I didn't allow it to penetrate my spirit. I just had to keep going. And I never really processed how it changed me or how it affected me psychologically and emotionally underneath the armor. Because I never took that armor off. I've always been in that mode where I'm just surviving. And I don't mean like financially. I've been there too, but I mean like mainly emotionally, like surviving, just blocking all of the trauma out and fighting, just moving forward and not dwelling on it. Never allowed myself to dwell on it. I never really had an opportunity to dwell on it because I have kids to take care of. I have bills to pay. I have to keep going. So I never really allowed myself to process those emotions and what I've been through. When I think about when I thought about what I've been through, I would think about it, but I wouldn't really dwell too much and let it put me in it never really put me in a spiral because I thought about it, I let it in, and then I pushed it right back out. I never really sat with the reality. Lately, I'm noticing the Lord is pushing me to deal with and face these things. You assume that when these memories come up, these traumatic situations come up, You assume that because you have no emotional response to it, that means you're healed. At least that's what I thought. I would think back on what I went through and I wouldn't feel anything. I'll shake my head and just keep it moving. So I felt like, well, I'm strong. It didn't affect me. I got through it. No, it just meant I was numbing myself. And I didn't know that until like recently. The Lord has been bringing all those things back up, resurfacing every little thing that I thought that I moved past. And He's allowing me to feel it. And I just feel so open emotionally. Every little thing right now is making me cry. I mean, a song, a bird, the way the wind feels on my skin. And I've always actually wanted to be able to tap into those emotions, but I feel like I've been so numb and in this survival mode for so long. I didn't even know how to do that anymore. So it's a beautiful thing that the Lord is allowing me to process it. Does it always feel good? No, because some of the things that He's making me process, the reality is hitting a little different, so it's because it's like it's new. The reality of a lot of those things, I never really got a chance to process the real reality. So now I'm sitting with a lot of these things that I've been through, and I know it's because I'm entering into a new season, and the Lord is not going to let me take this baggage with me. And I know this applies to a lot of you all too, because the Lord has been speaking to a lot of us. We're entering into a new territory, right? So we know that is here, but the Lord has instructions before entering this season. This is like the last little thing that has to be done before we can cross over. So you're right there, getting ready to step onto that train, and you're getting ready to go into a whole new territory. But before the driver can allow you to get on, He noticed that you had a little too much baggage, and that's the Lord. The Lord is the driver, right? He's not letting us take anything that's going to weigh us down. He needs us to be strengthened. He needs us to have clarity. He needs us to be healed. This next season is going to bring a little bit more pressure than we had before, but a good type of pressure, right? Because too much is given, much is required. So this new season that the Lord is giving us is going to require a different type of strength. So we can't pour old wine into new wineskin, because the wineskin has been already used up, it's stretched out, it's not durable. So we know that if we pour new wine into old wineskin, it's most likely going to burst because it's weak. We have to build new wineskin. So the Lord is trying to renew us so He can pour into us this new thing, this new season, take us into this new territory. So we have to rid the old. We have to. The new season He's taking us in is going to require us to have a new mind and a new spirit, and it's going to require strength, new strength. And coming into this season, the only thing He wants us to bring from our past is the wisdom that we gained from it. That's it. That's all. So it's something that I have caught on to. Didn't even realize that that's what was going on in me. But I noticed the Lord, so I'm a nurse. I don't know if I ever told y'all that, but I noticed He's been canceling my shifts. He's still providing though, but He's been canceling my shifts, sitting me down, making me process things. He's bringing things to my remembrance that I thought that I processed already and healed from, but it's almost like a new situation because I'm actually looking at it for what it was and dealing with the reality of it and processing the emotions that I should have been processing to begin with. But like I said, I was in like a survival mode. So I'm dealing with a lot of that. And it's a beautiful, it's beautiful. I'm grateful for the process that he's putting me through. I know it's a necessary part of the journey. I know it. Um, I know he's going to use my testimony to help people, and dealing with a lot of those emotions is going to allow me to really help them without projecting my own traumas and emotions onto others, because I've already dealt with the emotions and I can help other people deal with and process their emotions. So all these things are necessary, and I can't come into this new season fearful and like I said, projecting. And I have to process all these things so I can think clearly. I can make decisions clearly. And also for the promises, even marriage, when you have a lot of unhealed wounds, it's a lot of projection that goes on. It's a lot of fear that goes on. And that can breed, a toxic relationship. So, the Lord doesn't want us to build trauma bonds. He wants us to build godly bonds. So, it's a necessary part of the process, guys. And I'm like I said, I was just wondering if any of y'all were going through it too, because I know he is moving us into this next season. And he did minister to my spirit that this is a necessary part of the process. So, also, guys, I told you about that dream I had where I was getting off the exit on the highway, and the sign off of the exit read, "You passed the test." And the Lord spoke to me further about that as well, that we are going through a lot of testing. And for a lot of you all, the Lord is allowing your kingdom spouse to test you in so many ways and see if you did learn how to love yourself. See if you are learning your lessons and learning how to value yourself and hold boundaries, unconditionally love others. You know what I mean? Like, he's using a lot of things to prune us and test us and mold us and trigger us as well. Yes, he uses people to trigger us, to heal. He uses everything for our good. He uses the bad and the good. He uses the bad for our good and the good for the good. Anyway, guys, to summarize everything that I'm saying, pretty much, the Lord is putting a lot of us through healing camp. And he wants us to come into this new season without all this old baggage, and he's making us process a lot of it. He's making us process a lot of that stuff. So if you're going through that, don't be weary. That means you are super close. Literally, like, you're at the baggage claim, getting ready to get on the flight, the train, whatever. You are right there. So embrace the journey, guys. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, love you all, and remember, God loves you so much more. I pray you all have a blessed night. Peace out.